Welcome back to our channel. Today, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to wake you up. Because there's one truth about your life that nobody ever told you clearly enough. Your mind is the steering wheel of your entire existence. Every dream you've had, every fear you've carried, every limit you've believed in. It all began here, inside your mind. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 7 life-changing truths that will make you look at your mind in a completely different way. Not shallow tips you've already heard 1,000 times. Not motivational fluff that fades after an hour. But real, raw, unshakable truths that you can apply immediately to change how you think, how you act, and how you live. By the time we finish, you'll know exactly how your mind creates the reality you live in right now. How to train your mind to work for you instead of against you. How to use your thoughts to shape your future instead of letting them destroy it. If you watch this with focus, you will not be the same person by the end. And yes, this will also make your English stronger while it changes your life. So let's begin. Point 1. Your thoughts create your reality. Your life right now, your job, your relationships, your bank balance, your level of happiness, is not an accident. It is the result of what you have been thinking about day after day for years. Let's make this real. Think about your mind like the soil of a garden. Whatever seeds you plant there, good or bad, will grow. If you plant seeds of fear, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, life is unfair, weeds will grow, choking out your confidence, your hope, and your action. But if you plant seeds of belief, I am capable, I will find a way, my effort matters, strong trees of opportunity will grow, creating shade, fruit, and strength in your life. Here's the powerful truth. Your mind cannot grow roses if you keep planting thorns. There was a man named Jim Carrey. Before he was famous, before Hollywood even knew his name, he was broke, living in a small van, struggling to survive. But every day he fed his mind with a different reality. He would drive up to the Hollywood Hills, sit there, and imagine himself acting in big movies, people laughing at his jokes, cameras flashing at him. And one day, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated it 10 years into the future, and kept it in his wallet. He looked at it every single day. 10 years later, almost to the date, Jim Carrey got paid $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Was it magic? No. It was the law of his mind. The images and thoughts he carried inside became the reality he created outside. Right now, whether you know it or not, you are writing the script for your own life through your thoughts. If your mind is filled with negativity, self-doubt, and fear, your future will be full of proof that those thoughts were correct. But if you fill your mind with faith, action, and vision, life will start to show you proof that you were right to believe. The question is, what seeds are you planting? Because your mind doesn't care. It will grow whatever you put in it. You choose the seeds. You choose the harvest. Point 2. Self-belief is the engine of success. Let's go straight to the truth that changes lives. Nothing moves until your self-belief turns the key. Your talent can be asleep. Your resources can be limited. Your path can be confusing. But when you believe you can, your brain, your body, and your behavior line up like a team and start pushing in the same direction. Think of self-belief as the engine of a car. Skills are the wheels. Habits are the fuel. Goals are the map. But without an engine, The best wheels, fuel, and map do nothing. With an engine, even an old, noisy car can climb a mountain. This isn't fake confidence. This is not shouting, "I'm the best" in the mirror. Real self-belief is a quiet decision that says, "I will figure it out. I can learn what I don't know. I will keep going until this bends my way." What self-belief really is. Self-belief is the permission you give yourself to act before you feel ready, and to keep acting after it gets hard. It's not, "I'm perfect." It's, "I'm capable of progress." It's not, "I never fail." It's, "I learn faster than I fall." It's not, "I know everything." It's, "I can learn anything I need." When you hold this mindset, your brain opens learning mode. You notice solutions, ask better questions, remember more, and try again with adjustments. That is how results appear. The thermostat principle. Every person carries an inner thermostat for success, an invisible limit of what seems normal for you. How healthy you feel, how much money you think you can make, how confident you feel in a room. If your belief thermostat is set low, you sabotage when life gets better. If you raise it, you stop quitting early. You stay in the room. You finish the reps. You send the message. You take the seat at the table. Raising the thermostat is not magic. It's training. Keep reading. 3. The belief, action, evidence loop. Most people wait for evidence before they believe. Champions do the opposite. Believe a little. Act a little. Collect evidence from that small action. Believe more because the evidence is real. Repeat until your belief is unshakable. This loop is how shy people become speakers, how beginners become professionals, how average becomes excellent. For years, experts said the human body could not run a mile in under 4 minutes. Doctors warned the heart would fail. Coaches believed it was impossible. In 1954, one runner proved the limit was a belief, not biology. He broke 4 minutes. What happened next? Within months, others also broke it. The track didn't change. The legs didn't change. The belief changed. When the brain believes something is reachable, it allows the body to spend more effort, endure more discomfort, and access more speed. Your life works the same way. When you move your ceiling, your performance rises to meet it. How to build unshakable self-belief. Step 1. Write your identity sentence. I am a consistent creator who shows up every day. I am a patient learner who improves 1% daily. Read it out loud every morning. This isn't magic, it's direction. Your brain begins to act like the identity you repeat. Step 2. Make a proof stack journal, 2 minutes a day. Each night, write 3 small proofs that you are becoming this person. I recorded for 12 minutes. I asked one scary question. I learned a new concept. After a week, you'll have 21 proofs. After a month, approximately 90. Your belief rises because the evidence is yours. Step 3. The 1-meter win rule. Pick a goal and shrink today's task until it is so small you cannot refuse. Not run 5 kilometers, but walk 10 minutes. Not write a book, but write 100 words. Not learn English in a week, but speak 5 minutes out loud. Finish the 1-meter win. Then, if you feel strong, take 1 more meter. If not, you still won for today. Step 4. Courage reps. Tiny risks on purpose. Daily, do 1 safe, uncomfortable action. Start a conversation. Post 1 paragraph. Ask for feedback. Make a phone call. These reps teach your brain. I don't break when I feel fear. Confidence grows because you train it. Step 5. Replace the sentence. Catch the old line. I can't do this. Replace it with, I don't know how yet, but I can learn. I haven't done it yet, but I'm starting now. Language is a remote control for your brain. Change the sentence. You change the signal. Step 6. Evidence-first goals. Set goals you control. Evidence goals, not goals you don't control. Outcome goals. Evidence goal. Practice speaking English 20 minutes daily for 30 days. Outcome goal. Get fluent in 30 days. Not fully in your control. When you hit evidence goals, your brain learns you are reliable. Reliability is the backbone of self-belief. Step 7. Build a confidence bank. Every completed microtask is a deposit. Missed tasks are not failure, they're data. Review your bank on Sundays. Ask, which deposits gave the biggest return? Do more of those next week. Step 8. Environment upgrade. Belief leaks through people, screens, and rooms. Follow 3 accounts that teach, not distract. Keep your workspace clean and ready. Spend more time with doers than doubters. You are strong, but your environment can make you stronger. Step 9. The 2-track plan, now plus next. Track A. What you can do today. Simple, doable. Track B. What you'll do next when today gets easy, slightly harder. This stops you from jumping from 0 to extreme. Belief grows because difficulty rises at a pace you can win. Step 10. Post-action reflection. 3 questions. After any task, ask, what worked? What didn't? What will I change tomorrow? Belief loves clarity. Reflection turns effort into improvement. Bad day? Anxiety spike? Want to quit? Use this 90-second reset. Ground your body. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 2, exhale 6. Do this 5 times. Shrink the goal. Pick the smallest next action. Send the email draft. Open the document. Lace the shoes. Borrow belief. Say, if my best friend were here, what would they tell me? Then do exactly that one action. You don't need a perfect day. You need one honest action. Action rebuilds belief. 5. Quick tests to know your belief. Is real. You keep promises to yourself even when no one is watching. You act before you feel fully ready. You recover from mistakes faster than before. Your goals are written as behaviors you can control. You feel a quiet, steady certainty. I can learn this. If these describe you, your engine is running. Build this kind of self-belief and your life changes shape. Opportunities notice you, people trust you, and most importantly, you trust you. That trust is power. With it, you can walk into any room, any project, any dream, and move it forward. When your engine is strong, the mountain is still high, but the climb becomes possible. And once you reach the first ledge, you don't see an impossible wall anymore. You see the next step. Point 3. Your focus shapes your future. Your life is not decided by luck. It's not decided by the number of hours in your day. It's decided by where you put your focus. Every human being has the same 24 hours, but not the same results. Why? Because while one person spreads their attention on 10 different things, another person locks their attention on one big thing until it becomes real. Focus is the difference between speed and progress. You can run very fast in circles and end up in the same place. But when you focus, every step takes you forward. Imagine your mind as a giant stage in complete darkness. You have a single spotlight, your focus. Whatever you shine it on becomes bigger, brighter, and more powerful in your life. If you shine it on problems, your problems will grow. If you shine it on possibilities, your opportunities will grow. Most people don't lose to lack of talent. They lose to lack of focus. Distraction is not just losing a few minutes, it's losing momentum. Every time you break focus, you restart the engine. And starting again always takes more energy than continuing. A distracted mind works like a car in traffic. It starts, stops, starts, stops. A focused mind works like a train on a clear track. It builds speed until nothing can stop it. The more you train your focus, the more your results compound. Think of your energy like a full glass of water. If you pour a little into 10 cups, none of them will be full. You'll have a lot of almost finished tasks, half-learned skills, and partly started goals. But if you pour all that water into one cup, it overflows. That's how focus works. You go deep instead of wide. Howard Schultz was working for a small coffee company called Starbucks when he got the idea to turn it into a completely new kind of coffee experience. Everyone told him, "It's too risky. Coffee is coffee. Nobody will pay more for it." But Schultz refused to scatter his focus on safer projects. He poured everything, his time, his energy, his savings, into this one vision. He traveled to Italy to study espresso bars. He redesigned store layouts. He trained baristas like they were theater performers. Years later, Starbucks became one of the most recognized brands in the world. Not because Schultz had hundreds of ideas, but because he stayed obsessed with one idea until the world noticed. A magnifying glass in the sun does nothing, unless you hold it still. When you do, the light becomes heat, and the heat becomes fire. Your mind is that magnifying glass. Your goals are the paper. Hold it steady, and you will burn through any obstacle. Keep moving it, and nothing will ignite. Most people quit not because their goal is impossible, but because something new caught their attention. They switch paths too often, chasing the excitement of starting instead of the satisfaction of finishing. Every time you start over, you lose the power of momentum. You go back to zero. The people who achieve great things are not always the smartest. They are the ones who stay in the game long enough for their efforts to compound. How to build ruthless focus. Step by step. 1. Choose your one thing. Write down the one goal that will create the biggest positive change in your life if you achieve it. Circle it. Everything else is secondary. 2. Create non-negotiable time. Block 1 to 2 hours daily for this goal. Treat it like an unmissable appointment with your future. 3. Remove triggers of distraction. Keep your phone in another room. Close unnecessary tabs. Tell people you're unavailable during your focus time. 4. Set small milestones. Focus is easier when you can see progress. Break your big goal into small wins that you can finish and celebrate. 5. Practice refocus. Every time your mind wanders, pull it back immediately. This is a muscle. It strengthens with repetition. 6. Measure daily, not occasionally. Write down what you focused on each day. If you see too many days where your attention went elsewhere, adjust quickly. Your energy is not infinite. Every decision, every distraction costs mental fuel. The more scattered you are, the faster you burn out. The more focused you are, the more energy you have for what matters. When you focus, you give your best hours to the things that deserve your best self. When you focus deeply on the right thing, you learn faster. You work with more intensity. You see opportunities others miss. You feel the satisfaction of finishing, not just starting. Focus is the bridge between dreaming about it and living it. Point 4. Your mind can overcome any limitation. Most people believe limits are real because they feel real. You try something, you hit a wall, you stop, and you say, That's my limit. But here's the truth. Most limits are not walls. They're fences. And fences can be climbed, moved, or broken. You weren't born thinking small. As a child, you believed you could do anything, run faster, jump higher, become anything you imagined. But somewhere along the way, other people's fears became your beliefs. A teacher told you, "You're not good at that." A friend laughed when you failed. A parent said, "Be realistic." These moments planted seeds of doubt in your mind. Over time, they grew into invisible chains that keep you from testing your full power. When you accept a limit without challenging it, it becomes a truth in your mind. And once your mind accepts it as truth, your body and behavior will act like it's unbreakable. If you believe you can't run far, you'll stop trying after a short distance. If you believe you're bad at learning, you'll quit when you struggle. Your mind becomes the gatekeeper of your life. And sometimes, that gate is locked only because you never tried to open it. The strongest people are not the ones born without limits. They're the ones who refuse to stop when they meet them. They ask one question that weak minds never ask. What if this limit isn't real? That question is the crowbar that starts opening the gate. Wilma Rudolph was born prematurely, sickly, and contracted polio as a child. Doctors told her she would never walk again without braces. But she decided that never was just a word. She learned to walk, then run, then sprint. And in 1960, she became the first American woman to win 3 Olympic gold medals in track and field. The same body doctors said would never run became the fastest woman in the world. Because her mind refused to obey the limit. When you first push against a limit, it feels impossible. That's because your mind has no proof yet that you can go beyond it. The first push is always the hardest. Your brain screams, "Stop, this is too much." But if you push one more time, even just a little further, you give your mind new proof. We can go past this point. That proof becomes your new normal. And suddenly, the old limit feels small. How to train your mind to break limits. Step 1. Pick one limit to challenge. Don't fight 10 battles at once. Choose one thing you've been avoiding because you can't, and decide to test it. Step 2. Start smaller than you think. If your limit is running 1 kilometer, start with 1.1 kilometers. If your limit is speaking English for 5 minutes, try 6 minutes. The goal is to break the ceiling gently but consistently. Step 3. Track every win. Write down every time you go beyond what you thought was possible. This creates a growing library of proof that you can do more. Step 4. Expect resistance. When your body or mind says, "Stop," don't panic. That's the signal that you're meeting the edge of your old limit. That's exactly where you need to push. Step 5. Repeat until the limit moves. Limits don't vanish in one day. They slide back little by little. Keep pushing, and one day you'll look back and laugh at how small that impossible once felt. Your mind is like a rubber band. If you never stretch it, it stays small. If you stretch it a little more each day, it can hold far more than you imagined. Once stretched, it never returns to its original size. That's the beauty of breaking limits. You can't go back to the smaller version of yourself. Breaking one limit in your life doesn't just give you that one victory. It changes how you see all limits. When you prove to yourself that you can go beyond in one area, your brain starts asking, "Where else can I do this?" That's when you become unstoppable. Not because life got easier, but because your mind got stronger. Point 5. Protect your mind from negativity. Your mind is your control room. Every thought you think, every decision you make, every emotion you feel, it all begins here. If your control room is clean, organized, and full of accurate, empowering information, you can direct your life with confidence. But if it's filled with noise, fear, and lies, you will crash into the same walls again and again. That's why protecting your mind is not a luxury. It's survival. Think about drinking water. If it's pure, your body works well. If it's poisoned, even a small amount, it can slowly destroy you. Negativity works the same way. A single drop of doubt, repeated daily, becomes a habit of fear. A small criticism replayed in your head becomes a wall that stops you from trying. The danger is, you don't always feel the damage immediately. But over time, negativity rewires your mind to expect the worst, to shrink instead of grow, to survive instead of live. Where negativity comes from? Negativity has many disguises. A friend who always tells you it's too hard when you share an idea. A relative who constantly brings up your past mistakes. The news cycle feeding fear 24/7. Social media posts designed to make you compare yourself and feel small. And sometimes the worst source is your own inner voice, shaped by years of criticism and failure, whispering, "You can't," when you haven't even tried. Your brain is wired to pay attention to threats. It's a survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, noticing danger meant staying alive. But in today's world, most of the danger you're surrounded by isn't life-threatening. It's emotional and mental. Failure, rejection, disapproval. The brain doesn't know the difference. It reacts to a harsh comment the way it would to a predator. That's why toxic environments feel exhausting. Your brain thinks you're in constant danger. Your mind is like a seed. It will grow whatever the environment supports. Put a seed in rich, healthy soil with sunlight and water. It thrives. Put it in dry, rocky soil without light. It struggles or dies. You are the same. The conversations you hear, the beliefs you absorb, the media you watch, this is the soil your mind is planted in. If you want to grow stronger, you must plant yourself in better soil. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, became the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. She didn't start with huge resources, experience, or connections. What she had was a protective mental environment. Her father used to ask at the dinner table, "What did you fail at today?" And then celebrate her answer. He taught her that mistakes were not shameful. They were proof she was trying. Because she grew up in an environment that turned failure into growth, she wasn't afraid to chase an idea that others mocked. And that one idea built an empire. How to build an invisible shield for your mind. 1. Identify your energy leaks. Write down every source of negativity in your life, not just people. Also, the apps, shows, and habits that leave you feeling worse. 2. Set boundaries. Without guilt. This isn't about cutting everyone off. It's about controlling access. Decide how much time, if any, you'll spend in negative spaces. 3. Replace poison with power. Every time you remove a negative input, replace it with a positive one. A book, a podcast, a mentor, or even 5 minutes of quiet reflection. 4. Create a clean zone. Designate a space in your life, your room, your desk, your morning routine, where no negative news, gossip, or criticism is allowed. 5. Protect your first and last hour. What you hear when you wake up sets your emotional tone for the day. What you hear before sleep programs your subconscious. Fill both with encouragement and vision. You cannot pour clean water into a dirty glass and expect it to be drinkable. Likewise, you cannot fill your life with negativity and expect to produce positive results. Protecting your mind is not about being soft or avoiding reality. It's about refusing to live in a mental prison built by other people's fears and failures. When you guard your mind like a fortress, you stop reacting to every opinion. You stop comparing yourself to everyone else. You make decisions from strength, not fear. And most importantly, you start creating your life on your own terms. Because only your voice gets the final say inside your head. Point 6. Your mind controls your energy. Every morning, you wake up with a certain amount of energy. Not just physical energy, but mental energy. And here's the truth. Your mind is the master switch. It decides whether you spend that energy building your future or burning it on things that don't matter. Most people say, time is the most valuable thing in the world. That's not completely true. Because if you have 12 hours in a day but no energy, those hours are wasted. Energy is what turns hours into results. And your mind is the battery charger, or the battery drainer. Every thought you think sends a signal to your body. A thought of fear tells your body to tighten up, slow down, and prepare to retreat. A thought of purpose tells your body to wake up, lean in, and move forward. That's why two people can face the same situation. One feels crushed, the other feels fired up. It's not the situation. It's the signal their mind sends. Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors, was known for working long hours with intense focus. People wondered how he kept his energy so high without burning out. Tesla revealed that he used his mind to create energy before he acted physically. He would visualize his inventions in perfect detail, so clearly that in his mind, they were already built. By the time he worked on them physically, he wasn't starting from zero. He was riding on the momentum of mental creation. His thoughts fueled his actions. The 3 energy leaks of the mind. 1. Overthinking. Running the same problem in your head over and over without action drains mental fuel faster than physical work. 2. Negative self-talk. Every insult you say to yourself is like punching holes in your energy tank. 3. Pointless worry. Thinking about things you cannot control is like paying rent for a house you don't live in. Close these leaks, and you'll feel an immediate energy boost. How to use your mind to increase energy daily. Start with a winning thought. Before you even get out of bed, think of one thing you're excited about or grateful for. This sends an immediate signal to your body. We're alive, and we're moving forward. Control the first inputs. What you see and hear in the first hour sets your emotional temperature for the day. Feed your mind something uplifting, and your energy will rise. Single task for power. When your mind focuses on one thing at a time, your energy is concentrated, like a laser. Multitasking scatters it, like a weak flashlight. Use mini recovery breaks. Every 60 to 90 minutes, stop for 2 to 3 minutes. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and reset. This prevents mental exhaustion before it happens. End with reflection. At the end of the day, review your wins. This recharges your belief, and belief is pure energy. Imagine, an athlete in training and an average person both have 24 hours. The athlete's mind says, I'm fueling my body and sharpening my skill. The average mind says, I'm tired. Maybe I'll skip today. Same body, same potential, but different mental commands. And those commands decide who rises and who remains. Think about moments when you were completely drained and then got amazing news. Suddenly, you were full of life again. Nothing changed physically. Your mind simply flipped the switch. That's the secret. Your body listens to your mind more than your mind listens to your body. If you train your mind to speak energy, your body will respond with power. When you master the connection between mind and energy, you stop wasting your best hours on low-value tasks. You feel alive and driven even on long days. You create momentum that builds itself. Your mind becomes your personal power plant, generating energy on demand so you can keep moving long after others have stopped. Point 7. Your mind decides what is possible for you. The most dangerous limits in your life are not outside of you. They are inside your head. Before your body gives up, your mind decides you can't. Before your dream fails, your mind decides it's impossible. And here's the truth nobody told you. What your mind accepts as possible becomes the ceiling of your life. The world doesn't decide your limit. The world offers you challenges, opportunities, and obstacles. But your mind is the filter. If your mind says, I can, you'll see a way. If your mind says, I can't, you'll see an excuse. Two people can be in the same situation, same resources, same chance. And one will rise while the other will stay stuck. The difference is what they believed was possible. Your mind is like a compass. It always points you toward what you think is possible. If you think small, the compass will guide you to small goals, small risks, small rewards. If you think big, the compass will point you to bold actions, bigger risks, and bigger rewards. It's not magic, it's alignment. You will naturally move toward whatever your mind believes you can have. The Chinese bamboo tree is planted and watered daily. For the first 5 years, nothing happens above the soil. Not a single green shoot appears. Then, in the 5th year, it shoots up over 80 feet in just 6 weeks. Did it grow 80 feet in 6 weeks? No. It was growing underground the whole time, building roots strong enough to support massive growth. If a farmer believed it was impossible after year 2, they would stop watering, and the bamboo would die underground. Your dreams are like that bamboo. Your mind decides whether you keep watering when the results are invisible. Most people are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by the time it takes to succeed. When progress is slow, their mind says, "This is impossible. Why bother?" And the moment they believe it's impossible, they stop doing the actions that would have made it possible. The result? They never know how close they were to breaking through. How to expand. What your mind believes is possible. Challenge the ceiling. Write down your biggest goal. Then ask, what would it take to make this even bigger? Force your mind to explore beyond the comfort zone. Collect proof from the world. Read about breakthroughs in science, technology, and history. Every time you learn about something that was once thought impossible, your own belief in possibility grows. Use the what-if game. Whenever your mind says, I can't, immediately ask, what if I could? What would I try first? This opens the door instead of closing it. Focus on evidence goals. Set goals based on actions you control, like hours practiced, pages written, calls made, instead of only outcomes. When you see yourself showing up daily, you start to believe more is possible. Train with incremental wins. Don't jump from zero to a giant leap. Expand in steps. Each win is proof that the next step is possible. When you change one impossible into possible, it starts a chain reaction. Break through in your career, and suddenly your health goals seem possible. Break through in learning a skill, and suddenly building a business feels possible. Each victory adds weight to the belief. If I can do this, I can do more. Be careful whose limits you accept. People will tell you something is impossible not because it truly is, but because they can't imagine themselves doing it. If you adopt their limits, you live their life. If you protect your possibility, you live yours. When you train your mind to believe more is possible, you stop quitting early. You start taking actions that most people never even try. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. And slowly, the impossible becomes your new normal. Because the only real difference between impossible and possible is whether your mind allows you to try. Point 8. Your mind becomes what you feed it. Your mind is not a fixed machine. It's more like living clay. It takes the shape of whatever you press into it, day after day, year after year. If you feed it weakness, it will shape itself into fear. If you feed it strength, it will shape itself into courage. If you feed it excuses, it will shape itself into limitations. If you feed it vision, it will shape itself into power. This is not philosophy. It's reality. Every piece of information you allow into your mind is a seed. Those seeds grow into your thoughts. Your thoughts grow into your beliefs. Your beliefs grow into your actions. Your actions grow into your life. So if you don't like your life, the first place to look is not outside. It's at what you've been feeding your mind. Imagine your mind as a giant garden. Every single day, something is being planted. Some seeds are planted by you. The books you read, the words you speak, the things you think about before bed. Some seeds are planted by others. Conversations you hear, news you watch, comments people make around you. But here's the thing most people don't realize. You are the gardener. You decide which seeds stay and which get pulled out. If you let every weed grow, your garden will choke. If you pull the weeds and plant strong, healthy seeds every day, your garden will thrive. And so will your life. A computer doesn't decide what data it gets. It runs whatever you put into it. If you load it with viruses, it crashes. If you load it with powerful, useful software, it becomes a tool for creation. Your mind works the same way. If you feed it fear, gossip, and negativity, it will run programs that sabotage you. If you feed it learning, vision, and positivity, it will run programs that build your future. Think about your average day. You wake up and scroll through social media, comparing your life to strangers. You watch or hear the news and absorb fear, anger, and division. You spend hours with people who complain, criticize, and gossip. You go to sleep replaying your mistakes instead of your goals. This is a mental diet of junk food. And just like the body gets weak on junk food, the mind gets weak on junk thoughts. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mental diet. What you feed your mind today will shape who you are 6 months from now. If you start reading one good book every month, listening to inspiring audio instead of gossip, and focusing on solutions instead of problems, your thinking will change. When your thinking changes, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your results change. Picture your mind as a giant water tank. Every positive, empowering thought is a drop of clean water. Every negative, disempowering thought is a drop of dirty water. You can't expect a tank to stay clean if you pour dirty water into it every day. The only way to make the water clear is to keep pouring in clean water until it overflows and washes the dirt out. The same goes for your mind. You must flood it with powerful, useful, uplifting input until there's no room left for the garbage. How to feed your mind for power. Step by step. Audit your inputs. Write down every major source of information in your life. TV, social media, conversations, books. Circle the ones that empower you. Cross out the ones that weaken you. Create a no-junk rule. For the next 30 days, remove one major negative input from your daily life. Replace it with something that builds you. Schedule your mental meals. Just like you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, schedule times to feed your mind. A morning reading session, a midday podcast, an evening reflection. Use the 5-minute upgrade. Whenever you have 5 minutes of idle time, consume something that makes you better, not something that wastes your energy. Protect the first and last 30 minutes of your day. Start and end your day with the mental equivalent of a healthy meal. A goal review, a gratitude list, or an inspiring message. Feeding your mind right is not instant magic. It's like training for a marathon. The results compound over time. 6 months of good mental nutrition will make you calmer under stress, sharper in decision-making, and more confident in yourself. 1 year of good mental nutrition can make you unrecognizable in the best way. If you take control of what your mind consumes, you will think more clearly, you will feel more in control, you will act with more purpose, and most importantly, you will start building a life that reflects the best of what's inside you. Because what's inside you is finally the best you've ever fed it. We've just walked through truths that have the power to rebuild your entire life from the inside out. But here's the thing. None of it matters if you only listen and then go back to your old patterns. Your mind will not change because of one video. It will change because you decide, today, to live differently. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to know exactly how everything will work out. You just need to take one powerful step, and then another. And keep going even when it's hard. Because your mind is not just a part of your life. Your mind is your life. And if you control it, shape it, and protect it, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. If this video spoke to you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to this channel because every week we bring you the tools, the truths, and the push you need to become the strongest version of yourself, inside and out. Your next level is waiting. Let's get there together.